it's another side that like wants to take more, wants to go that one more round, because like going that one more round when you don't think you can, that's what makes all the difference in your life. You know what I mean?
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of One More Round, the Rocky Series podcast. I'm your host, Ryan. Of course, with me is Katie and Kyle. Katie, we are recording earlier today because we thought you were going to a brunch, but it's been canceled. That's okay.
Yeah. It's snowy. It's super snowy here. So people are like, I don't want to leave. And my friend's sick. It's her birthday, and she's sick. So that sucks.
Oh, well, we wish her good health. And Kyle's having cam problems. What's going on? He's popping in. Are you okay, Kyle? We got a man down.
Oh, I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So, and Kyle, how are you doing this beautiful morning?
I'm doing good. I set an alarm to make sure that I wasn't going to miss your show.
No, it's our show.
Yes, that's true. Our show. That's right.
Yeah, we'd like to thank everyone who's actually, I don't think we're going to have very many actual live viewers. It's a little bit early. It's 7:20 in LA in the morning, but it's 10:20 in New York time. So again, if you watch this on YouTube, we appreciate your views and comments on YouTube, which we're going to get to very shortly because we did get any emails, Katie. 0 emails. It's been really dry.
On?
Rocky 5 has been horribly dry for emails, and that's okay. I don't know if that's a reflection on the film. We kind of speculated it might be, but give us some emails, folks. If you're listening to this, even it's just like, hi, I'm listening. Here's your email.
I think our show needs more foreplay then, if that's the case,
Oh, maybe. Yeah. And we don't have any trivia. We are, like we said before, we're done trivia.
Okay.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We do not have any more. Yeah, we do not have any more.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was all prepared. I got my pen out and my little Post-it notes that I write on.
Oh,
I was going to comment that, maybe we'll have some UK listeners, because I think it's 5:20 there, if I'm not mistaken.
Simon.
Yeah. Is that Simon? I think it is, or Simon. Yeah. The filmmaker, Simon, I think it's him that we haven't done that film review that we promised 2 years ago. We're terrible. Okay. Yes. Welcome, everyone, even from across the pond. Sorry, Katie, it looked like you were getting excited that we were doing trivia.
Yeah, 3:20.
Well, I guess I feel, I don't know, you guys, I set my alarm. It's early. I feel very prepared today for some reason.
Okay.
So I was all ready to go. So, but it is a pleasant surprise that it's over because I sucked bad this year.
Yeah. It wasn't until I actually did the edit and then I, of course, released it on our audio feed that I caught that you actually got last place. I don't think we quite rubbed it in your face as much as we were supposed to.
And we really should have. We really dropped the ball on that.
I did.
Because you're so smart, you're so prepared. But yeah, I think you got, let's just remind our listeners, you got last place in Rocky 5.
Rocky 5.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to doing Rocky Balboa, the 6th film, when we do the trivia. And then at the end of Rocky Balboa, because it was kind of unclear because I rambled it very quickly, as I sometimes do, the hardcover version of the trivia book that I bought, it came with, this is like a new edition. I used to own the soft cover, but I rebought the hardcover that Rocco released because it came with bonus questions. So that was the whole point. So hardcover came with bonus questions for all 6 films, which I think it's 10 or I think it's 5 or 10 questions per film, bonus questions. So when we finish Rocky Balboa, we'll probably do the same thing. We'll probably finish the 6 film questions early, and then we'll just roll into the bonus questions during season 6 is what I was saying. So that's how we'll do that. Okay. Well, because there's no emails and there's no trivia, we might get more film done today. But before we get to that, we actually got some really good engagement on our YouTube last week because we did ask for it, meaning, as you'll see in the comments as they're being read, people did give their opinions long and far regarding the Paulie living conditions. And that was actually great to hear. Yeah. So it was actually great to hear that. So just a recap, a very quick recap. Kyle brought up an interesting theory a few episodes ago that he thought in his memory banks that he felt Paulie may not live there. And we kind of said, yeah, he might live above the gym. That kind of makes sense that he would live there. And we'll respond to the comments, but you'll see that this overwhelmingly, what we thought originally. So, but let's start with the comments that aren't apartment related, Katie?
I would like to point out
Yes, ma'am.
that I always doubled down on them living in the house.
Yeah, let the record state. We don't want
Yes.
you to be arrested for any hearsay or
Yes.
canceled. You know, in the Rocky universe. I will also say for the fact I enjoy the idea still, and
It's fun conversation for sure.
Because go ahead, Kyle, please.
I will point out it is a logical fallacy that just because something is popularly believed that it's correct, though. I'm just pointing that out there.
Oh, 100%, Kyle. 100%. You're right. Okay, we do have some comments. A few from Andy Grew. The first one, he says, Eric Elder was Tommy Morrison's best friend in real life. He was interviewed in Tommy's documentary. And I think one of you guys brought that up, didn't you?
Must have been Ryan.
No.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Or maybe it was one of the listeners.
Maybe.
I feel like somebody did. I feel like I've heard that before. They're probably screaming at me, but I feel like it was somebody in our chat.
No, I think Kyle just said that when we talked about the best friend at the very beginning, Kyle's the one that mentioned that they were best friends in real life. I don't think the documentary part was brought up. Maybe we're.
Oh, I didn't know that though. Like I remember learning that. We'll record it.
Okay. It must have been a chat person. But I will say this about the documentary. Gru brought up the documentary, the Thomas. Now, there's been more than one documentary, but let me say for the record, the official Tommy Morrison documentary is coming out at the end of this year. I talked to Trisha Morrison. Remember on our last episode, I talked about the dinner scene where we saw Tommy Gunn's character, played by Tommy Morrison, talk about being abused. And I would reach out to Trisha to see, did Tommy kind of speak from the heart or from the script, or a bit of both regarding his upbringing? I'll bring up the chat in a second here. I didn't have it ready. A better podcaster would have it ready. I actually have.
This is what makes Ryan. This is what makes this a great podcast. It's like you have that connection, right? Like if I started a podcast, I would just be speculating about this because I'm like too lazy to go out and like talk to people and stuff. But you've done the legwork to make the connection, so you like. Having information like this and like the information you get from John Rivoli and stuff is like pretty cool.
Well, thank you. I appreciate
We're
that.
gonna give Ryan a pat on the back here. Yay, Ryan.
So a couple things regarding this before we get to that. So the documentary, I'm not sure which one Grew. I'm sure he's listening to this episode. Let us know which documentary you're referring to. But he might be referring to the ESPN one that's controversial regarding that one. But the official one that's being, obviously authorized by the widow, Trisha, and also the Callum, who's doing the interviews. He's the one that interviewed me for the documentary. And I think that might be the definitive one, but we'll let viewers decide when it comes out. Of course, we'll plug that when it does come out because I can't wait to see my part be cut right out of the documentary. Okay.
Stop it. Put good vibes into the universe. Come on.
I'm putting pragmatic vibes. That's my. Okay. So I messaged Trisha, gave the timestamp to the video, and I said, "Hey, can you answer our question if you have insight on this? And may I share your answer?" She goes, "Yes. There was a lot of physical and verbal abuse during Tommy's childhood. He posted many times that he came from a dysfunctional family. His mother was an alcoholic, his brother a rapist. So obviously so you can imagine that kind of it puts into light a lot of just the stuff that he struggled with in his life, the real life stuff. That's just a home that I don't think any three of us came from. That kind of home. So it's a different upbringing, right?" She goes on to say, he was glad to get out of that environment, but this shows you the true and sweet character of Tommy. And this is why I'm a Tommy defender when people kind of crap on him. So like it's like his character, he actually played his character so well that people don't like the real Tommy, vice the character of Tommy, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which I like. I understand the idea of negative association, but like we also have brains, right? Like we can understand that movies are pretend.
You would think so.
You would think so. You're giving the human race a lot of credit, Kyle.
Yeah. She goes on to say, but he never stopped loving them, his parents or family, and wanted them to love him back. He knew it was the money he brought in that made them love him. When the money stopped coming in, they didn't have time for him. He says this in his book that they couldn't wait to bury him.
This reminds me of $1 Million Baby.
Oh yeah. Hey, good
Wow.
catch, Katie.
That's
For
really
sure.
sad, though.
There's more. Do you want to hear more or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Tommy's fear was that he never wanted to let anyone down. He always said he was acting himself, however, in Rocky V. So I asked, can I share all that? She goes, yes, of course. And she just said another little story here. Back in November 2011, his dad actually called him. We were on our drive back from Joe Frazier's funeral.
Oh.
His dad said, I love you, son. Tommy responded, I have always loved you, Dad. They hung up. Tommy cried for a while I was driving. It was like he had been waiting years to hear his dad say that.
I'm glad he got that.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the other shoe to drop when you said that for some reason, but I'm glad that was good.
There was a little bit of peace at the end there.
Yeah.
So a side note here, speaking of the documentary that's currently being, because I asked, when's this documentary coming out, Trisha? And she said possibly the end of 2025. Callum is still filming because Usyk is being filmed now. He's being interviewed. I thought Kyle might find that interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is he like a current boxer?
I think so.
Oh, he's the current champion.
Oh, he is okay.
Yeah,
okay.
he just defended his title in a rematch and won, but it wasn't too popular. I find that it's not popular in America because I think boxing is becoming less popular in general in America, and also Usyk and the guy he fought were both Europeans.
That sounds American of us. If we're not involved, we don't care.
Also, they televised that fight. They had that fight during, like, I can't remember what it was, but like there was a lot of college sports going on at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's big business, sports betting.
Oh, yes. She also mentioned that Michael Buffer was just interviewed last week. So a lot of big names on there.
That's great. I'm very excited for this.
So she said Usyk. Well, she said Usyk, Michael Buffer. Then, of course, Ryan's self-deprecating humor. I said, amazing. Well, even if I get cut out, it was honored to be asked, LOL, because all these they don't have time for me. They got these big names. These are real people. I'm a fake person. Anyways.
I would argue the opposite.
If I can get on that documentary and not get cut, I'm going to know I'm just not another bum from the neighborhood.
Another podcast bum from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katie. I think I caught a bit what you're saying there. You're very sweet. But she did write, no way you're getting cut out. And she went on to say it's ended up being a 6-parter. So it might be like
you'll make it.
Yeah.
So like a series, a docu-series.
Like the last episode, last minute, or like the credits are rolling, and you'll see like Ryder Balkan. Tommy was great.
You got anything derogatory to say?
Yeah, he was great. That's awesome. That's funny. Okay, so we got some great comments here. So this is from Michael B in our show chat. He says, as much as I didn't like Rocky V, I never associated negatively toward Tommy Morrison because I watched his actual fights and separated the fighter from the role. So there's an educated person.
Yeah.
Simon went on to say, do you think Sly knew as much about Tommy when writing the script or was added as they were filming? I think it's the latter. But Sly was actually a very informed individual regarding fighters, boxing, the boxing world. So I would 100% assume that when he hired Tommy, he hired his story.
That's his MO. Like, he borrows from real life all the time, and then he puts like his creative flair to it. So like the idea that he kind of coincidentally came up with a Tommy character that happened to be like Tommy Morrison in real life, to me seems far-fetched.
Right. Yeah. Simon, great to, when they said cutting me out of the documentary. Didn't bother me. It did. Well, that might be a more truer quote. I'm going to hold on to that quote. We never know. We'll find out. Okay. Great stuff. I love it. So thank you, Trisha, for that. She's such a sweet person. Thank you so much for that. And okay. What's the next comment from, I think Gru gave us another one.
Mm-hmm. He has a few. So the next one is, these days, Gazzo would likely be the comic relief. A-list extended cameo played by someone like Danny DeVito. I like it. I'm a big DeVito fan. That would be hilarious because Gazzo himself was pretty tall. So it's just like that.
Yeah, you'd have a short Gazzo.
Yeah.
Well, like, also, I remember Sly commenting on how he thought Gazzo really didn't seem like a mob guy at all. Like, he was kind of funny. Like, he was like, unlike, and then like him, like the inhaler shot was, of course, like not planned, and they just decided to keep it in. So it's like it was very, very kind of some more subtle comic relief. But it would be funny if you had someone like Danny DeVito.
Oh, yeah, I like it. I like the Danny DeVito. Good one, Gru.
Agreed. His next one is that's 1,000% Jewel based on the picture alone.
Yeah, so remember I showed you, of course, that LinkedIn profile of Elizabeth Peters, whatever her name is, Fence Maker or whatever she goes by. So I went on LinkedIn.
Is that it?
Fenster Maker, something like that. So I really appreciate Gru's also confirming that he believes he said 1,000% or whatever it was. And so I tried to reach out. I hate it when people have these impossible LinkedIn. I do have an account. It's a free account. Like I have an account. If you Google Ryan Rebalkin, you'll see my LinkedIn account. Like nobody follows me. I never use it, but for whatever reason, I have one. And for me to contact her, I have to be a paid member.
Yeah, but there's a trial. They send me like every week LinkedIn, like, oh, we're giving you 7 days free trial for free, literally like every week. And I never bother because I'm not looking for a job or whatever. But
right. Okay.
You could do a free trial.
My only I will then so that was part one. Part one was I didn't do the trial to reach out to her. So I guess I should just do the trial. I get nervous that I forget I'm gonna get paid like charged $1,000.
Yes.
You know what? You 100%. Just put it on, me and my handy dandy calendar.
Sure.
You just put a task on your calendar a week later.
I wonder if it would be less creepy if a woman reached out to her.
Actually, Kyle, you just actually brought up something I was going to ask my audience. Our audience, of course, does anyone have a LinkedIn account that could surrogate for me, saying, "Hey, I listened to a show and they're trying to reach out to you," and they could give them my email?
Honestly, I think Katie should reach out because.
You mean female to female? You mean?
Yeah. Okay, there's 2 Ryan Rebalkins on LinkedIn.
Oh, geez,
one is definitely you because it has your picture.
Okay.
And then the other one should be you because it says it's from Souk, BC.
Oh,
you have 2 accounts. Maybe.
It might be 2 different emails too, or something like that. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the one with the picture. I'm gonna connect.
Sure.
I mean, I would have to upgrade to the paid version too because I don't. But I'm just saying that's a possibility. So I'm happy to. But you're the famous one.
Oh, you're adorable. Okay, well, I will just. Okay, what do we do in the middle of the road? I'll reach out to her. You put in your calendar to remind me to cancel my.
I will do that for sure.
Okay,
I will. Okay,
because I am horrible at calendars, as you know. Okay.
Yes.
What was the next?
Ironically, the only really good performance in this movie is by Sage, with Richard Gant as a close second. What do you guys think about that?
Well, we definitely have stated that both Tommy and Sage really aren't as bad as people remember. When you objectively look back at this film, I think Sage got a lot of nepotism criticism that was unwarranted, and we're seeing now objectively as a teenager actor, as teenage actors go, he was just fine. There's no issue with his acting. Like there's no like, oh, what a horrible line delivery, Sage. He was actually even a little bit more than serviceable. So I agree with Gru. And Richard Gant is amazing. Of course, playing with George Washington.
He was overdoing it a bit,
but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
It is funny.
I think he was the best in my opinion.
I disagree that the only really good that Sage was the only really good performance. My take on Rocky V is everybody except Sly was good.
Oof. Yeah, that's fair too.
I think Talia Shire, Burt Young. What was wrong with
Talia was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody was good. I don't really think Tommy was very good, but he's not an actor. Like my expectations for him were low. Sage isn't as bad. Agreed on all of those points. I think if anybody disappointed me acting wise, it was sadly Sly.
Yeah.
He dialed it in. He dialed it in the most. The one actor who has been shown to give us great acting performances, the level of acting that he actually gave us was the lowest amount, with even some parts of very cringe-worthy moments.
You know what? I'm gonna throw Sly a bone here,
please.
I think he took a risk acting that way. I think he was trying to change it up. I think he was like, trying to go a little more R word type of thing there.
Well, remember what Robert Downey Jr. said in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, never go full R word. Never. Like not all your chances are going to pan. Not all your risks are going to pan out. You know what I mean? Like So, and he's given, like Ryan said, other good acting performances. So sometimes it just doesn't work, and I respect that.
Yeah, good point. I don't want people to listen. He's one of my favorite. He's like my number 2 favorite actor ever. I think he's a phenomenal actor. I always come to his defense when people, shit on him for them thinking that he's a bad actor. I think he's a phenomenal actor, just not so much in Rocky V. And I agreed. That was a risk that just didn't work. I agree, Kyle.
It's funny, and of course we've mentioned this, and we'll get to other parts in the movie, but there's parts where he's not that way.
True.
Like just even the parts of like, you knocked him down, tried knocking me down, or even the funny lines like this ain't no pie eating contest, or just that. Or even when he's yelling with Adrian in the street, like I didn't want us to come back here. I didn't want this. Like that's all fine. It's just
good point.
It's just I think the very beginning of the film, yes, when he's punchy from the fight, maybe he was trying to show that my head is damaged, and I don't know if Sly knows how to act brain damage, so he's acting dumb and weird and goofy. But as the movie sort of progresses and he settles down into the neighborhood, he just talks a lot. And the last big cringy scene, of course, was when he's talking to Tommy. We said that he's Sly or the character Rocky. He's just acting really excited that he gets to do this again. So it's kind of like goofy excited, but it comes off looking kind of silly. But there are a lot of moments in that film where Sly doesn't act bad. So it's a really discombobulated for that reason. I think a better director would have reined Sly in, and that's the whole problem is John G., the director. I don't know how much he was directing Sly.
Yeah, and I think Sly, like for me, I really like Sly in all the subsequent films. Like in Rocky Balboa, in the Creed films.
Creeds.
Like I prefer his acting in those films to say his acting in Rocky 3 and 4.
Sure.
I find Rocky in 3 and 4 doesn't seem like Rocky. He's like this.
It's 80s Sly.
Yeah, and so it's like he kind of goes. I feel like Rocky 5, he's trying to go back to what he was in Rocky 1 and 2 and failed, and then in Rocky Balboa and Creed, he got it right.
Agreed.
Yeah, because he was that hungry again as an artist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're the beast inside,
Yeah,
we have several other comments. Let's see. This is about the Polly situation, the living situation. Yeah. The Misfit 74 says, in the trailer for Rocky 5, there's a line of dialogue from Polly. Rock, I still got my place in the old neighborhood. This implies they were all living in Polly's house.
Okay. Yeah, and I totally agree. So I wanted to say this for the record, because I agree with all these statements that come in. It's hard to argue everything that everyone says. Because like you said, Katie, for 35 years when this film came out, whenever that was, 35 years ago, I've always thought for 35 years until like 4 episodes ago that Paulie lived there. Like I never considered another option. It was just kind of a fascinating study. But I think at the end of the day, in a court of law, both sides of the aisle don't have evidence enough. It'd be a hung jury because it's never, because again, it's implied. We have a lot of that's what it is. Sorry. It's a case of circumstantial evidence. Yes. Like we mentioned last episode, it would just take one word for Rocky to say, hey, can the kids stay at your place or your room? Like he just had to say one word to indicate where this place. Yeah.
Yeah. But, and we do know that it's Polly and Adrian's house. Like that's known, and it would be weird.
But you could also argue the last thing I would bring up, this is my last point of this whole thing, and then the case will the defense rest is that is you could argue that yes, Paulie kept this, because people bring this up, so I'm not arguing that. Yeah, that's right. He kept the place. That's the place you could argue though when he said, "Hey Rock, aren't you glad I kept the place?" Off screen. Hey Rock, you and Adrian live in the house. I'll go live in Mickey's gym. This was given to Robert, your son. Here's the deal. Because he's good at business. Paulie's good at this kind of stuff. He could say, you guys live in my place. I don't really want to live with a bunch of you guys. I'll go crash in Mickey's place. I'll have a place to myself. I'll live there rent free. You guys rent out my place.
Yeah, because in that apartment, he can get drunk and look at his skin mags and just be his full Paulie self, I
can almost see, I can almost see Paulie, the character, preferring to be alone.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point, I want to keep my theory going at all costs. So I'm going to say that I have a bias here. So I'm not. But
Well, let's see what some other people have to say. So Hingle McCringleberry, that's fun, says if somebody had to move out, they would have had Tommy move in with Polly out of the house and above the gym, not Robert. The Balboas would have kept Robert with them in that case.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument.
I was thinking the same.
That's predicated on the Balboas being good parents, which
that's true. That's what I mean. This is what makes this because every point has a counterpoint that you can't argue.
You're right.
I'm admitting my bias from the beginning. Okay, like I'm being the defense lawyer who's going to come up with an alternate theory. No matter what you say, I will come up with an alternate theory.
And there is one. The gloves. I mean,
but that's a good point. If there were, parents like maybe me and Kyle, we'd be like, no, the complete stranger. You go crash with Polly, and we'll keep the kid.
No shit. Yeah. But you did bring up a good point, Ryan, that it was like a temporary. Maybe just for a few nights or something. But even still, that could be at Polly's.
It ends up being like a year and a half.
Yeah.
The montage that we're going to watch, of all the fighting. Yeah.
Destiny Filmworks says there's a deleted scene shown in the trailer where Polly tells Rocky he kept the house in the old neighborhood. Yep. Another person.
I never saw that. I meant to look that trailer up. There must be, because that's dialogue that's not, which can happen. They'll cut a trailer before the final cut. So dialogue in trailers.
I remember Polly saying that. I thought
I do too. I think it's in the movie.
Yeah, it's
when they're moving in. When they're moving back in, he says something about it.
I thought the dialogue was different. That's all. What was the dialogue they said? I know he said, "Aren't you glad I kept the old place, Rock?" What did the Destiny film guy say there?
Deleted scene shown in the trailer where Polly tells Rocky he kept the house in the old neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's the same dialogue. That's in the film. Okay, so they're just saying it's also shown on the trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Andy Grew has some comments about the housing situation as well. He says, all evidence points to them being in that house together. Polly's line about Junior's plumbing leaking suggests they'd be sharing a bed. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Additionally, as they're moving into the horrible hip hop version of Take You Back, Polly says, it's good I kept the house.
Yeah.
Talked about that.
I don't know why people say that is evidence that Polly lives there, though.
It's his house. It's his house.
It has to be his house. It has to be his house because if the Balboas owned that house, it would have been taken with all their other stuff.
Yeah, that's why people are bringing up. They're like, it's Polly's house.
Then he moved out of. Then he moved out of to live in Mickey's gym. So you're right. He kept the place, moves out so they can move in.
But people are bringing it up like, well,
it's
your house. Why would you move out of it?
And that's a fair argument too.
Yeah.
We're just doing the, what do you call it? The devil's advocate response.
Yes. Yeah. So Gru goes on to say, if it's supposed to be Polly and Adrian's house from the original, it's actually Polly's house. Yes. I mean, technically he inherited it from the parents. They grew up in that house.
Oh, we just got a heavyweight just chime in. A heavyweight just chimed in on our Instagram. Derek Wayne Johnson, 4-time guest on the show, director of many documentaries in the Rocky universe. He's saying it's Polly's house. So if Derek says it's Polly's house, I guess we have to let the.
Well, we know it's Polly's house. There's no question that it's Polly's house.
Yeah, but I think he's also saying Polly lives there. Is that what you're saying, Derek? I think he's still watching. So I think that's what Derek is saying. That Polly said. Let us know if that's what you mean, Derek. Because if that's what you mean, if Derek says that Polly lived there, not above Mickey's gym, that's the question, Derek. Then I will concede to Derek because he knows the Rocky universe. Kyle will concede. No one.
I love how you won't concede to me. No, I understand. I'm kidding, Ryan. I know what you mean. Okay. So Andy goes on to say, also, there's no way Adrian would have the kids stay away from his parents, especially in that part of town. It's vague, but I don't think it's meant to be. I think it's simply a case of them ignoring the little details that made some of the other movies so good. Mm-hmm. And another point, I mean, that is true. It's kind of a rough neighborhood. Adrian is trying to be a mama bear.
Yeah. So he's saying yes. So Derek says that yes, Polly was living there with the Balboas.
This is my Apollo's people equivalent.
Yeah, it is. It is. Agreed, Derek. Agreed. But it's super fun. Thank you all for the comments too. Yeah, keep them coming.
Thanks, Derek. He says, hey, I love you guys. Had to jump and say it. Well, we appreciate Derek. Guys, check out his many documentaries. See if I can remember them. The three main ones. Boy, Derek, I'm sorry if I forget the names. Rocky, 40 years of Rocky, I think this was called. Awesome documentary. Of course, he did the Stallone Frank, that is. And then he did the... why is it
is it the Mike one?
It's escaping me the titles. I apologize. He'll probably tell us in the chat. I don't think he's left just yet. And he also edited. He did the editing for the behind the scenes Rocky 4 edit. So the cut when so Sly doing the director's cut, and he's behind the scenes. Derek actually edited all that together and made it nice and pretty for us to watch. So yeah.
Thanks, Derek.
Yeah. All right. I miss you, brother. And he's a newlywed too, by the way. He's taken, ladies. Yes, of course. John G. Avildsen, the king of the underdogs. Thank you, Derek. That was the first one he did.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It totally, probably the best one of the three, but a great trilogy of films. And thank you. And yeah, I love Derek so much. He's just the nicest guy. But ladies, he's taken. The handsome man's taken. I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Congratulations.
We all are.
Yeah. Okay.
All the good ones are taken.
All the good ones are taken. Yes. Sorry, Katie. Okay. So, 40 Years of Rocky, The Birth of a Classic. That's the title. Now, there we go. Thank you, Derek. Check them out. They're available like on Prime. You can buy them, rent them. They're all over the place. They're amazing films. So check out my interviews with them. Okay. What do we got? That's it for comments? Or
yes. Are we doing the recast?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for the recast. Yeah. Because I actually have my picks here. Okay, so again, this is the last part of Dave Burrell from the UK, who gave us this challenge of he gave us his choices, and he says, "What do you think of my choices? And do you have choices instead?" Well, haven't really been happy with this list, which makes it fine and fun that we all have our own choices. Anyways, so this is the last part, and Dave, you haven't responded. I guess he doesn't listen to us anymore, or he died in the ring. He might have Apollo Creed in the ring when he had that charity match.
He's got some brain damage, even though he doesn't see any.
All right. So what were Dave's choices for the fourth?
Okay. So the next, there's three people we're going to talk about: Gloria Dipper and Father Carmine. So he is proposing Christina Ricci for Gloria.
Not a bad
What do you guys think?
Right age, like right now, she's the right age. Like she's early 40s. Gloria, I dare say, was between 35 and 45. I don't know exact age of the actress at the time, but she was mid 30s, early 40s. Christina Ricci has that ability. So did the original actress that played Gloria. I forget her name, but she was like, I think if you dolled her up properly, she would look, kind of like Adrian, but she just she looked like a frumpy store owner, but I don't think she really is. I think she's actually, she was a pretty woman. But so Christina Ricci is what I'm saying. She has that same ability. You can make Christina Ricci, you see her in some films, she's like, holy crap, you look different. And then you can, but when she, she's able to morph into different looks. But so anyways, long story short, I think Christina Ricci is not a bad choice at all.
Yeah, I was totally fine with that choice. To be honest though, I don't think I really have a strong opinion on who plays Gloria because I don't think it matters that much. But
my second choice, though, if Christina Ricci was like a hard no for me, I did have a second choice: Aubrey Plaza.
Oh, yeah. That I've now switched. That I think personality wise, she could play a way better Gloria. No, that's a good call, man. Yeah, I'll go with that one for sure.
Who did you say, Ryan?
Aubrey Plaza.
That is hilarious because I have a list and so I did a casting. I had all of these people come.
Oh, good.
In and they auditioned for me. And Aubrey Plaza was one of them. But ultimately, I also interviewed Kristen Wiig, Catherine Hahn, Jenna Fisher, and Chelsea Peretti. But my ultimate choice was Judy Greer.
You know what? I think Jenna Fisher could, she has the look where she could definitely play Gloria.
Be mousy but sassy.
Yeah, I think Aubrey Plaza, though, I feel like she doesn't really have the look for Gloria, but I think personality wise and stuff, I could really see her being Gloria. Man, yeah.
Those are all good choices. I think Gloria's a character too, like we're saying, where you could almost get away with a lot of different, a lot of great.
You guys are way better at casting stuff than me. I can never think of people. I might have one good one here or there, but I never considered any of those people for that role. I don't know. Just pick somebody.
Well, my thought process was thinking of, it's a character actress, not like a beautiful leading woman.
Sure.
Age range, trying to find the right age range. And then somebody that can look dowdy.
Yes.
And, is kind of funny. That was my criteria.
All right. Who was the next one? Dipper? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who did he say for Dipper?
Sorry, I have to find it again.
Yeah, Jaden
Okay,
Smith.
Jaden Smith.
No.
Absolutely 100% no. This is a me problem. I can't stand Jaden Smith.
Yeah, I'm not. I wish him all the health and happiness in the world. I have no ill will towards him, but as far as a person I want to watch or enjoy their career, I have no interest. Have you ever heard of Damson Idris?
Damson Idris. No. Do you have a picture or what was he in?
So here's him. He was in. Oh shoot! I have to go back. He was in.
Oh, yeah. He looks very familiar. That one on the right.
He's a newer actor. Oh, he's not new shows. It's a theater. Oh, Snowfall. That was the big show he's in. He's in the main cast on the show Snowfall. Well, I kind of wanted sort of an unknown too, but because Dipper at the time, played by Stan Shaw, was sort of an unknown. But he's a handsome guy, right age too, and he's got a good physique on him, ready to go. Definitely, he's got the Dipper. You could, yeah, there he is there. So, yeah,
We think Kyle.
Yeah, that's fine. I suck at this. I really feel like this is not my thing. I was enjoying my coffee this morning, looking at this list and thinking, and I don't know why I get weird thoughts in my head sometimes, where I just like is an absurd comedy type of thing. Having someone who really doesn't fit at all there. I just had this image of Rocky walking away from the ring, and then instead of Dipper there, Michael Caine's there. He's like, "Hey, I dig your locker, man."
Like a 95-year-old man. That's
like he's a contender. I don't know why I read that.
Yeah, he's a contender.
And he's got that locker.
Yeah. With all the black chicks.
You know what I love about this being the first Rocky film? We probably comment on it, but I love it. It was filmed in '96, but I love the idea that because like it was for the audience, because when Rocky opens the locker, it's littered with black female in half naked poses, which is indicated to the audience, well, this obviously can't be Rocky's locker. There's black girls. No white Italian is going to like black girls. How dare it's just funny how that's what they use.
It is.
I never thought of that, Ryan, but you're right. Like, because there is no reason why that couldn't be Rocky's.
Yeah,
but it does lend to a popular conception that like white men don't like black women, which isn't true.
No,
but yeah, in the 70s,
it was what I do like. I like beautiful women of all. A beautiful woman is a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear my alternative for Dipper?
Yeah, please.
He's a very youthful looking man, but he's probably a touch on the old side. Andre 3000 from Outkast.
I love that.
Look at him, like he just has this.
I know who he is.
And I just picture him saying that.
He seems a little skinny. You had to bulk him up a bit.
Yeah. I really dig your locker, man.
Yeah, he's 49 already.
But he looks younger than that. But
yeah, he's my age.
That's
true. It's true, actually. Yeah. So Andre, I like it. And then if Dipper fought Apollo, played by Andre in this universe, and they're at the press conference, and Apollo would have said, "Well, one thing about Dipper is if he can't fight, he sure can sing."
This
is another bad casting choice, but imagine if like Chris Tucker was Dipper, just in his voice saying like, "I dig your locker."
You're better at this than you thought.
Yeah,
Kyle.
I miss Chris. Did you say Chris Rock or Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, I miss Chris Tucker. He was so good in those Rush Hour. He's
not dead, is he?
No, he's just sort of semi-retired from. I think he's like really rich, and he just doesn't. He just enjoys.
He's like, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm out of here.
I was never a fan. I don't have anything against Chris Tucker, but he kind of always annoyed me a little.
I think it's a comedy style at the right time, the right age. Like when he came out when I was 20 years ago, if you completed the Rush Hour films So, all right, last one, Father Carmine.
He says Steve Buscemi, which was your pick for Gazzo, right, Kyle?
Younger Gazzo.
Yes, he was. When I saw that, I was like.
So, what are your thoughts on? Well, we love Steve, great actor, and I think it's fun. Again, that's one if he was cast and he was the right age at the right time, Steve Buscemi would do a great job. He's a great guy, great actor.
I'm going to say current Steve Buscemi would be fine as Father
Yeah, I
Carmine.
think he's older.
Steve Buscemi from 25 years ago would have been
Too
a
young.
good Gazzo.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree with those two.
Yeah.
I agree with those two. I
Okay.
think a younger Steve, good Gazel. Current Steve, an older priest. That's easy. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did you have any alternatives, Ryan?
I did have a
Same.
different casting choice. John Turturro.
Turturro?
Sorry, I always say his name wrong. Turturro. How do you say his name?
I say Turturro, John Turturro.
That's probably correct.
Turturro.
Yeah.
Right.
We all know who he is. Yeah. What do you think of that? What do you think of that choice?
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
This is one I also brought a lot of actors in
I'm just going to step out for a second, guys. Just keep going.
to cast. This is a fun one because my criteria for this person is Italian and like sweet older man, like just like has that look to them. I brought Sly in to read.
Oh wow! Of course you did. Yeah.
For Father Carmine, Giancarlo Esposito. He's half Italian.
Okay.
Steve Carell as Father Carmine.
Sure.
Joe Pesci would be a little different. Joe
a little bit too old.
Yeah, true. Joe Pantoliano, because he's
again?
great and everything. Joey Pants. He's like,
is he in the Matrix films? He was the like wasn't he? I think I see the face though. He kind of plays.
He's the one of those character actors. Yeah, a little bit.
A bit of a sleazeball, like kind of a. Yeah, I know who he is.
He was a hated character in The Sopranos, but he plays. He's like He's in tons of stuff.
He's 73 now.
Yeah.
Oh, where's time gone?
He was Richie Valens' like agent or manager in La Bamba.
Oh wow, he's been around for a while. I just didn't realize he was that. I would say old, but 73 is not young. I didn't realize he was that age already. How's that sound?
I know. I also interviewed my favorite person of all time, Robert De Niro, as the priest, just for fun. This is for shits and giggles. But the person I ultimately cast, Tony Danza.
Okay, I like it. Give Tony a break there. I like that.
Yeah,
for Father Carmine.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. Hey, okay. So
I think he's like a teacher now or something, or he like became like, he became like a social studies teacher or something like that. Like he stopped acting and did that job. I saw a picture of him in a classroom, and there was like this article of like celebs who left acting for like normal jobs.
I think he did like a reality show about that.
It was 09 to 2010. There's just one year he filmed a reality show called Teach by Tony Danza, which he co-instructed a 10th grade English class at Northeast High School in Philly.
Oh, no, I love Tony Danza. I just love him. He's a good guy, too.
He's a great guy. Yeah. I like guys like him. There's no drama. There's no skeletons or issues. He's just a good guy. Yeah, I like people who just act. They have fun. They're a celebrity. They just stay out of it, and they seem like good personalities at the same time. Okay. How old is he now? Boy, he's 73 too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay. This Rocky 5 season. Well, next episode we'll have no trivia, no recasting segment, and no emails. So we'll have
there will be emails. You guys email us.
I know.
Also, give the show a review.
Yes,
that would help more people find the show, because there's tons of Rocky lovers out there and they need to find out about this show. Don't you guys think so? Review us, please.
Thank you, Kate.
Okay. I want to talk about this comment that just came in. What about Martin Scorsese as Father Carmine?
I'll take it.
I wonder if Martin Scorsese could speak Italian.
I think he does. I'm pretty sure.
Because if he did, he definitely has the look of he could be Father Carmine, like no question. And if he spoke Italian well, I for sure would be down with that suggestion. I think that's a really good suggestion.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite directors. I love all of his films. I just recently watched the Killers of a Flower Moon. Ooh.
How was it? I haven't seen it yet.
I love Leo. Leo DiCaprio is such a great. He's such a good actor. It's insane.
I've been meaning to see it. He's doing a new one with Leo too.
Good.
Scorsese seems to like him and Tarantino. Yeah, for example, really like to use the same people over and over again, and I don't mind at all.
A lot of directors have their guys, like I would say more often than not.
Oh, it makes it easier filming.
Yeah.
They work easily together. They collaborate. Yeah, it's just easier.
Yeah, you get into a groove easier if you know the person.
But I can't say enough good things about Leo. I'm sorry, I'm a fanboy. I know he's got his dating, whatever he dates. But that being said, he's just an incredible actor. And yes, he kills it and kills it. Like, I don't want to spoil anything. He played against type. It was really good.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not against type, but you'll see. Let's just say there's a lot of amoral behavior in that film, which is because it's about history and stuff. So he really kills the role. Yeah.
Okay.
No pun intended. Okay. All right. Let's get into it. We are going to tackle, the first scene that we're going to tackle in today's review is Sage.
Oh, yeah, he does.
Boy, how much you got in your pocket today? Nothing. Come on, let's have it. Nothing. I got nothing. Come on, give me the money. Come on. Hey, I gotta eat. He's hungry. He's gotta eat. We'll eat this. I got.
It's actually not a bad line. I love that delivery. He's like, he says he's hungry. He's gotta eat. Well, then eat this.
I want to point out something that is really pedantic and nitpicky, unnecessary. Who would keep their lunch money in their coat pocket and not their pants pocket?
Yeah.
It was written in the script this way, Kyle.
Yeah, because it's like, if you're crouching on the ground like this, reaching into that guy's pants is like weird, right? Like, I understand why they chose his coat pocket, but like that bothers me for some reason.
I also have a question. I went to Catholic school and we couldn't bring lunch and we had to eat at the cafeteria, but it was prepaid. In public schools, do you bring, in the 80s or the 90s, did you bring money?
Us poor paupers who went to public school, Katie, who had to suffer through the public school system. In fact, Kyle.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I'm not Catholic now, but I grew up.
Junior high in Canada, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, there are no school cafeterias.
Yeah, we don't have school cafeterias in Canada.
They don't build them that way. Like, whoever
really,
everyone everyone that brings their own lunch all the time.
Bring your own lunch, or when you're in high school, you go out for lunch. There's no cafeterias in any school.
Oh, my high schools all had cafeterias.
They have one. We didn't have. And we had a pretty it was rich, but it was like, well-to-do community where what I'm saying is the schools were well put together, well funded, and they didn't have food in the school. It was kind of like you brought your own lunch.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Our high school had it where it was like the commercial foods class made the food for the cafeteria.
Really? That's smart.
And it was really good. But like, I would say less than half of people actually ate it. Or I'd say maybe like 20% of people ate at the cafeteria regularly, if that. Like,
it wasn't
everyone still brought their own lunch.
You brought your lunch or you went out.
Yeah. I wanted to either bring my own lunch, because I was vegetarian. At that time, good. I wasn't vegan yet, but so it was really hard for me to eat at our Nebraska USDA.
I've seen pictures of people's lunches from cafeterias in America, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. So I was always jealous. I wanted to either bring my lunch or go out, and we couldn't even leave campus in high school. But if you had a cafeteria, you have to pay for it. So would you bring cash, or was it like a punch card, or, you know what I mean? I guess I see this in movies, and it's hard for me to grasp, like, bringing $5 every day to pay for your lunch.
It does cost a bit. You're right. Milk money it does start to add up. It's easier just to make your own lunch and bring it. Yeah.
I've always heard of Americans talking about lunch money. Like, that's always like you get beat up for your lunch money. Like, it's So I always just assumed that like you had to pay for your lunches at school. Or I've heard of things like really poor kids like have like lunch debt or something like that, where like they stop getting lunch at school because they haven't paid. Like, you're paying pay to school X amount per month. I don't know. Like, it's like,
no, you do have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. It's just the bringing cash every day seems like such a waste of time. Wouldn't you prepay for? Wouldn't you? I don't know.
I don't know, like, because I remember like at our cafeteria, they had a lot of junk food and stuff like that, right? And so I wonder if like maybe you bring money just to buy extras, like if you wanted soda or chips or something like that.
My whole life, I just brought my own lunch. Never bought a lunch at school ever. have pizza day or hot dog day. That was the treat, and that was it. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I agree with Simon. Like he put the money in his pocket, which is an easy grab. Like it just shows you his sheltered life upbringing. Like, no one's going to rob me. I'm not going to get mugged at school. So it goes back to what Kyle's saying: put it in your back pocket or put it in your sock.
I still think I don't even mean it's a security thing because, like, for example, you take your coat off when you go in the school, probably, right? Like you're not wearing your jacket in class all the time, and your coat's probably in your locker. So why would you have your money in your coat pocket when you're going to have to go to the cafeteria later? It makes way more sense to have your money in your pocket or in a wallet. I don't know if all junior high kids have a wallet. Like I feel like junior high is like when you transition to having a wallet from just.
Oh yeah, I remember getting a wallet. You're like, yeah, I'm a bit of a man now.
You feel like a man when you get a wallet.
How dare you? How dare you? It was a real fake leather wallet.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Fake leather's better.
I actually don't remember. Okay. I don't remember, to be honest with you. Okay. All right. So he gets mugged. And now we're going to the scene with Father Carmine, played by John Turturro or Martin Scorsese or whoever. All right.
Father Carmine! Yo! Father Carmine!
Now, I'm not going to show this sequence, but in the workers' print, like I said before, we won't obviously get it today. It might be 4 episodes from now, but in the workers' print, they filmed all the scenes that were in the montage. And so we get to hear the dialogue and see the full cut of these scenes that we will see in this montage. But during that sequence in the workers' print, this was actually near the end or in the middle. It's just interesting where they put this sequence now in the final cut is before the training montage of this film, but during the workers' print, it was down the road a little bit. They've already been together. They've already trained for a while. Yeah.
Okay.
So, of course, Rocky's calling for Father Carmine, which we haven't seen since the wedding of part 2, if I remember correctly. And Rocky's calling for him. Maybe he's not home, says Tommy.
Maybe he's not home.
No, priest is always home.
Oh, Rocky!
Yo!
Ma perché non battesti la porta?
Oh, well, I didn't want to disturb you that much, Father.
Non disturbo. E la famiglia com'è?
Oh, excellent. Everything is perfect. Father, this is my new friend, Tommy Gunn.
Okay, what I love about this scene, couple things, is both men wearing their, as we say in Canada, toques. And in America, they call it snow caps or caps. I don't know what you. This makes more. We
have a lot of words for it. Yours makes better sense. Yeah,
it's just called the toque. It's spelled TOQUE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was TUK for some reason.
No, that's how it's
like
TOQ. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, of course it's French.
Yeah, well, it is a French word, but it works because everyone, when you say "Where's your toque," everyone knows what you're referring to. But in America, it depends what state you're in, or what, we don't get snow here, so I don't know what you're asking for. Anyways, what I like about this scene is aesthetically, they look really good. Yeah. The men with their hats on because they have the nice chiseled featured faces. They got the great vest jackets on with the hoodies. Their mullets are cut down, put down, slides. Puffy hair is pushed down, so like aesthetically they look really good here. I think they look good with the hats on as well because it hides the disaster of the hairs they have.
Well, what's wrong with Sly's hair in this one?
Nothing's wrong. Hey, Sly, I love Sly, but I don't think I've always been a fan of his hairstyle. Throughout the years, he's had interesting hair throughout the years.
That's fair.
I always focus on this barbed wire on the brick wall, kind of reminding you where you are.
Yep. I agree that Rocky looks really good. I agree. I wholeheartedly agree with both of those sentiments. What I took, it's funny that we all noticed. You had a second point, didn't you, Ryan? What was your second thing?
Well, I would say not so much Sly's hair as much as Tommy. Tommy looks good and handsome here because his mullet's hidden with the toque in the front there. Sorry.
What I can't remember. What I love is that clearly Rocky understands Italian.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't speak it because he's answering questions. Like he's hearing Father Carmine. I don't know.
That's super common. Like like a lot of people here I've talked to who are like kids of immigrants say that their parents will speak to them in their native language and they just reply in English all the time because it's like understanding a language is so much easier than speaking it.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Like my friend who his parents talk to him in Hindi all the time. And he's like, I could technically speak Hindi if I really wanted to, but it would be like awkward. It would feel awkward. It would feel weird. So I'm like, I just reply in English.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That makes sense.
Oh, tanto piacere fare conoscenza, eh? Che posso fare per te, Rocky?
Well, I was wondering, Tommy here is a fighter, and I'm supposed to be his manager, So I was wondering if you could do me a favor, if you ain't that busy, if you could throw us down a couple blessings, like one that I don't mess up being a manager, and B, that Tommy does as good as I think he could do,
It's so great, little Rocky, isn't there? Did you catch it?
1 and B.
1 and B.
I think. Oh no! This came out before Home Alone, right?
Home Alone and Rocky got released the same weekend.
Okay. Oh, that's right. So there's this very similar thing that happens in Home Alone when they're in France and they're all the kids are there in this hotel room and they're all miserable because they're not going out and doing things because everyone's worried about Kevin. And one of the girls says to Kevin's older brother, Buzz, like, oh, I wonder if he's okay, if anything's happened to him. And Buzz is like, I'm not worried at all. One, we live on the most boring, or he's like, no, one, I'm not that lucky. B, we live on the most boring street in America. And it's the exact same thing here. Rita's like 1 and
It's
B.
a common, I do it too. I mean, it's a very common thing that people will, it's almost like purposeful. I don't think.
Really? I don't know.
I've never done it in my life.
I never hear it.
I do it all the time. Yeah.
Well, one, that's embarrassing, and B, you probably shouldn't have announced that on the podcast.
Why is that so embarrassing? It's shut up.
Hey, I'm not the one that got last place at the Rocky 5 trivia.
Good.
Oh, poor
Ooh,
Katie.
touche. Look at me using a French word.
For the record, I just for the record, I took a screenshot of Sly's face here. I'm going to use that for the thumbnail. What do you think?
Oh, it's unfortunate because he really does look nice.
I've used that for the thumbnail for this episode. Okay.
Great, and don't get hurt none. Could you do that?
Ma sicuro, un piacere è mio. In nome del Padre, del Figlio, dello Spirito Santo, e così sia.
Lovely does it.
So you literally just cursed the franchise. This movie bombed with critics and fans, and Father Carmine. Oh man.
I think it's cute how Tommy acts his what's going on? Like
I always find that
foreign.
odd.
It's foreign to him.
I've been in this situation multiple times. So in my old job, we used to invest, and this is kind of I'm not proud of this, okay? I'm not proud of this. We used to invest for like certain Catholic dioceses. And so I'd have to go out there and visit them. And like before you eat or whatever, they start doing like this blessing where they start crossing themselves. And it's like everyone but me does it. Because everyone there is Catholic.
That's so funny. I grew up before meals in our family. You have to Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen.
Yeah.
And whatever the prayer was, I bless us our Lord for these, I guess, blah, 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 blah. That's the thing. It's so mundane to me that I forget that other people didn't. That's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm in the middle. It's funny, but what I never liked Tommy's character or the acting here, whatever it is.
Oh.
Meaning like he's like the idea that A, Tommy, you don't have to do it, or B, one, you don't have to do it. B, it should be like he's looking at Sly doing this, or Rocky doing this, but being so perplexed that it's happening. That's what I found funny, or not funny, kind of irritating, because okay, I've never done it. I've never been in a situation like Kyle where I've been around people that do it all the time. But if someone does it in front of me, I'm not like, huh? Hey, what? I don't understand what you're doing. It's the Catholic cross. We've seen it 100 times on TV shows and movies, and like the fact that Tommy's so bewildered by this behavior, it's like maybe he just didn't have TV growing up. Fair enough, but we're the same age, Tommy and I. So he watched the same TV I watched. Even if I was 19 years old, seeing a 40-year-old do this on the street, I wouldn't be perplexed and bewildered by this behavior. He's acting like he's never seen the Catholic cross prayer before.
Yeah, but it is weird when it's part of your like boxing training routine. Like all of us, you're on a jog, and then all of a sudden you're doing this religious stuff in public, in the street, in front of people. Like to me, it'd be awkward. I don't think he's that perplexed. I think it's just this is an unfamiliar situation to him.
He's like,
he doesn't know what
okay,
to do. He
this is
feels
what we're doing.
awkward. Like I'm giving him. I like it.
You're giving it a pass, okay?
Yeah, give it a pass.
Also, religions do fascinate me. I just don't know that much about a lot of them. So he's from Oklahoma, so he would be Baptist or something. Do they not do the sign of the cross?
No, only
it's
Catholics
Catholic.
do that shit.
Oh, okay.
Like I grew up religious, but we would never do that sign of the cross thing.
No, we do other signs.
Yeah. Well, but yeah,
Different sect of Christianity. I just thought all the
How dare you?
I was about to say normal, but
yeah, you could say
run of the mill Christian,
I
Baptist,
guarantee you,
Methodist,
Protestants.
blah, blah, blah.
I guarantee you, almost all.
No,
Protestants
it's
do
only
not do sign of the
Catholics.
cross.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lutherans wouldn't do it. Methodists wouldn't do it. No, I think it's just a Catholic thing. Yeah.
All right.
Hey, thanks, Father. I really appreciate this.
Tanto piacere, anytime.
Okay, hey, I'll see you in church.
Oh, sì, sicuramente. Avrete tutti e due.
Okay.
Okay, I'll translate that. What he said was bullshit. You haven't come to church in decades.
Yeah,
I think that's what he said.
And that's why Rocky's like, oh, okay, yeah. But
Yeah.
but I think we did.
When you were rich.
We did get a translation for this, or I think it's online, and we did it during the Going the Distance. But
No, I did the translation. I got an Italian person to translate for us.
that's what it was. Yeah,
but it was for Rocky 2.
Oh,
it wasn't for this scene.
Okay. Well, I'm sure it's
I should've
online or
done that,
trivia or so. No, I bet you. Well, on our own, I might even do it if I remember while I'm editing to have it ready for the next episode. But it's probably pretty straightforward. I bet you once we get the translation, it's going to obviously make sense. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, what'd you do this for?
Hey, don't hurt having an angel in your corner, you know. Come on.
So he's really, of course, dumping the whole flashback sequence of angel on your shoulder. So he's trying to be the Mickey to Tommy's Rocky.
Hey, Rock, how's it going?
Doing great, guys.
Better slow down. We're gonna give you a ticket.
This is Tommy Gunn. He's gonna be
Hey,
chipped,
guys.
guys.
How you doing, Tom?
All right. Well, I don't know why we have that scene. It's kind of
It's a throwaway scene. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It. I don't know. I don't know. It's nice to see Rocky getting respect to the neighborhood.
Okay.
And then I like him saying Tommy's going to be champ. It kind of just shows he believes in him and stuff. I think it's a quick little throwaway scene. They're jogging.
I think more of the joke. About. I guess even as a dad joke, I can just see like, all right, I'm jogging.
I'm gonna give you a ticket.
Yeah, but just he's settled in the neighborhood. He knows everybody.
I think it's the joke, but I agree, Kyle. Take away the joke. Is hey guys, looking good out there. Thanks. I'm running with the future champ right now.
Yeah, that's fine too. That's fine. I'm indifferent, to be honest.
Okay, so now of course this is like literally the opening sequence or shot of the first Rocky film. We now are just everything's going back to the roots. We've got Tommy fighting in the church turned into boxing gym. So this is his first fight. He's fighting his Spider Rico right now.
They're back at the same church. Like they still have these fights.
You know what though? It's funny because like this seems so different than 1975, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's only 15 years. When I was younger, 15 years is a long time.
Oh yeah. It's a long time.
But 15 years, that's 2010. How different did things look in 2010 than they do now?
Not that much. I know.
Different.
Yeah,
and
you're
this
right.
is like people are drastically different looking.
It is weird. I don't understand it.
5 than they did in 1990.
Well, I think we've sort of talked about this, or this is not new. I should say that what you're bringing up, people have commented or noticed this too, Kyle, that something about the 2000s, almost actually the 2010s, or something sort of has happened the last 15, 20 years where I could wear what I'm wearing right now in 2005 and nobody would bat an eye. But if I wore what I'm wearing right now in 1970, they might be like, what are you wearing?
Well, I wear a black t-shirt and jeans. I could wear that in the 60s and no one would say anything.
Yeah, jeans and a t-shirt. There does seem to 1975 or 6 is a world apart from 1990, both in music,
everything,
fashion, hairstyles.
The whole 80s is officially over. And that was like a whole lifetime. But now the 2010s. Remember the films, the 2010 films, guys? You remember how you felt watching 2010s?
For instance, The Departed. We all know that movie, right?
That was before 2010, I think. Even
It was 2005, so this is 20 years ago.
That was 2005.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy.
See, I could have. I'd be like, that was 5 years
people
ago.
are dressed not that different than they are now. They don't look that different. Things look pretty interesting. There's only one thing you notice in that film which really dates it. It's the technology. You see people pulling out Nokia flip phones and doing these texts and shit like that, and that's the only thing that dates it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
maybe the cars a bit, but
yeah, it is funny how that is.
But it's really not that long ago that Rocky fought in the ring in '75. Like, it seems like forever because of the difference in the way things look. But in actuality, of course, this place is still running. Of course, it looks like this. Of course, people are doing what they're doing because it was only 15 years ago.
Now, I'm not wrong. This is supposed to tell us this is the same church that he fought Rico in.
Of
right?
course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the exact same place.
Okay.
Same.
But that's kind of my point. Like, like, of course he'd fight here.
Let's see what the crowd looks like compared to the 76 crowd or 75 crowd.
Same shot. They're filming it the same way.
Yeah.
It's the same.
This is probably John G. This is a John G moment, I bet. This would be,
the smoky dark.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, you feel good about this fight?
Now, this is a really nice touch.
All right. All right. Next up, Tommy Gunn versus some generic dude.
I think I heard someone say bum, too.
I thought so, too.
It's probably that same lady. Yeah, bum!
Maybe they just used the real.
She died of cancer for sure by now.
Oh, yeah, she's dead.
Get off the ropes! So easy, all right? Man, I need more work. No, you're ready. You're perfect. No, I need more work. Man, this guy's killing me. No, listen, you're ready now. You're perfect. He's killing me. No, you're perfect. You understand me?
You're perfect. You're perfect. So again, a little bit more Mickeyisms when Mickey said that Rocky's perfect, but I'm a little bit confused as to why Tommy is like. I understand he's maybe fighting somebody more his weight class or strength level or something. Well, why is he feeling this moment so unprepared? Didn't he have a big hoo-ha moment when he's talking to him outside the bar there about all the things he did to get ready? Like, am I overthinking this? Why in this moment is he so? I'm afraid the guy's punching hard, like he's hurting me.
He's never beaten up like this before, probably, right? There's always someone who could beat you up.
But didn't he have any experience at all? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to know what it felt like to be punched before.
He has had professional fights. Yeah, you're right. It's in the script, Ryan. That's why, so that Rocky can give this inspirational.
That could be the answer to every.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother. Don't bother me none. Don't bother me none, because professional fights really vary, right? Like, you could fight like a real chump who sucks, or you could fight a guy who's maybe the guy's fighting is a good fighter who's also an up and comer.
Tommy's previous coach, they was handpicked Tommy.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say he has to come to Philly to fight the real tough fighters.
Maybe, yeah. That's maybe that's what I mean. So it's not so much a criticism of the script. That wasn't my intent, really. It was just I'm trying to look at this objectively. Like, why in this moment is this character? Because there's no real indication that he's weak, or because we know he's got a powerful punch with the sparring partners that he's fighting. So why in this moment is he doubting himself? Like, this other guy could just be another Tommy. It could just be someone that punches hard too. He's like, holy crap.
Have you ever had moments of self-doubt though? Where it's not really, where it's not really like someone from the outside is like, this is irrational. Why are you doubting yourself like this? But internally, you're doubting yourself, right? You have like your own demons. I think Rocky sees that. Rocky sees like, hey, you could beat this guy.
Yeah, he's going to talk about it right here. Here we go. Frankie Fierce coming back already, I think.
I feel weak. No, listen to me. I feel weak. Shut up. Listen to me.
I always love that. Shut up. I don't know why.
I do too. I love it.
Because even the delivery is good, but I can't tell if it's a Sly delivery or Rocky. I don't know if it's like Sly, the actor / director, telling this character, shut up, I got to get this line out. It's hard to tell, which is a good acting, I guess, where I'm like, because it's sort of not Rocky-ish, but maybe this is, I don't know. What do you guys think of the shut up more? Have we ever heard him do that before?
He doesn't mean it in a mean way.
We've all said the word shut up in our life before. We probably have meant it. There's probably been a point in our life where we've said those two words before. I would assume, unless you've gone your whole life and never said it, that's great. But I'm just saying it's always caught me off guard in an
Shut up. Let's
way.
just watch the movie, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
No, I was kidding. I'm sorry.
No, but that's what it's a very well. Actually, it's sort of the FU to be quiet.
Well, the context matters.
You're allowed to do
he's-
this kind of shit as a trainer. You can be like, "Hey, shut up! I need to help you here." Like, time is of the essence. Like, we only have a fucking minute in this corner.
I was just gonna say it, Kyle. Exactly. Yes. Like, okay, I get it. You're afraid. That's great. Now it's time for me as a trainer to tell. Because we got 45 seconds. We got to go back. You're right. So, but I just love the delivery. The delivery has always been enough to me. Like, is that Rocky or Sly or a bit of both to Tommy?
It's always stood out to me as well, and I adore it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's great. But yeah, it's also Rocky maybe taking his training seriously. He's really into it right now as a trainer,
Difference between the hero and the coward is the hero is willing to go for it, all right? Willing to take the shot, okay? Now this guy over here is scared too. You're scared, he's scared, you're both scared. Remember in the basement, we was talking about fear and how it's like this fire, huh? And you gotta control it because it'll like burn you up or it's gonna burn him up, all right? Now you gotta make it work for you, Tommy, okay? I would never do nothing that would hurt you. You gotta understand what I'm saying. Now fear is like this fire, okay? Now let it burn and burn until it becomes like this volcano. And when the time is right and you see the opening, explode all over this guy, okay? And you can take him, okay? It's all heart, you understand? Okay, it ain't all muscle, it's all heart. Heart and fire, okay.
I feel like he could have done that a little differently now. I don't think there's anything really wrong with what he said there.
Yeah.
But I think he missed an opportunity. So, like, remember at the dinner scene when he said that Tommy was talking about his dad being an alcoholic and how he's like, now whenever I fight someone, I see him. I feel like Rocky could have been like, hey, control, do the fear as like a fire thing, but like, remember what you said, like you see your dad. Well, like, see your dad when you see this guy.
I don't disagree with that. Would have been a tactic too. It would have been quicker. Obviously, that was my only kind of criticism. I think at this moment, again, this is Sly, and this is not a criticism, an observation with everything he said. It's like a lot of Mickeyisms, Rocky's experiences, all dumped on Tommy in this first fight. Meaning, like all the pep talks. It's almost like ChatGPT took all the pep talk that Mickey has done to Rocky and create me a paragraph to give to Tommy. It's just everything. Heart and fire. It's all heart, no muscle. It's not just muscle. It's heart and fire. When you see an opening, bust, like all this stuff. Like this is the championship fight. Well, I get it. This is his first big fight, so maybe you could argue Rocky's telling him or wants Tommy to have a good first fight, because once he gets over this first fight of confidence, then everything else will come easier. That could be the argument there too, to kind of like, I got to get through Tommy through this fight, because if he buckles under the pressure on his first big fight, he might have a long. So you could argue that's why, but it just felt like Rocky kept.
He was spewing a lot of things. Like it was too much because I was putting myself in Tommy's position and I was not able to focus and follow what Rocky was saying. It was way too much. He needed to make it more concise and break it down, to just the most
it felt a lot.
Yeah.
It felt a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe just talk about the Frankie Fear part and that was it. But then he kept going with it's all heart, not muscle. Like those guys save the heart muscle talk for the championship fight or something. Anyways.
Well, and the picture your dad, Kyle, I think that's a fair point. I wonder if that's just not in keeping with Rocky. Like that's like a mean thing to do. I don't know.
I agree. You know what's funny? In my head, it sounded better than when I said it out loud to you guys. I'm like, I don't know, maybe not. But
it's not a bad way to go. Maybe a last ditch effort. Maybe it's like the 14th round. He wants to knock out. Okay, fine. You want to knock this bum out? You want to knock him out in the 15th round? Then that's your dad. Go.
Yeah.
We'll talk about therapy after. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Remember, I'm like this angel sitting on your shoulder, okay? I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, okay? Go, God.
Yeah, so I muted the music. You're hearing the mute. That's me muting the music for you.
I was just going to ask, how is it so clear?
Yeah. So, but yeah, so you hear this.
Did you mute it for YouTube or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna stop it there because now the montage is starting. So next episode we'll get into the montage and yeah. So you'll hear the muting throughout this montage sequence. I did that so we could comment on it and not have it blocked on YouTube.
Oh, you want me to just sing it? I can just sing it.
You can. Yeah, I'll give you the week to practice. Yeah.
Good.
Okay, so that was it. So we don't have any Rocky trivia answers. We've got all our emails done, everything. So not emails, our comments on YouTube. So thank you guys for the YouTube comments. Truly, if that's where people want to leave comments and engage us, that's a totally cool place to do it. We missed the emails. Rocky 5 has been light on emails. I understand it's not a fan favorite for people. So
it is a little outdated, I think, is the problem. Like people don't email. Like it's a lot of work to send an email compared to
but the show got emails with all the other seasons. Like it seems like a pretty good goal, but I think people stopped listening to part 5.
Yeah, everybody uses email. It's like it's just as easy to send an email than it is to like send something like via chat or messenger or
no, it's not. I don't think so. Because like maybe chat or messenger, but like if you're watching this episode on YouTube, it's so much easier just to type a comment in the comment section than to like open your email, find Ryan's email address, paste that in, write a subject line.
Oh, now you're no. Okay, we're trying to
well
people.
Two different avenues. YouTube comments are meant for short, little, quick comments.
Yeah.
An email is if you want to, discuss your thoughts more holistically, like it, right?
Yeah. The emails are always better. Yeah, they're always fuller, but we appreciate the YouTube comments. We love it because it gives us some great discussion points because we don't have the emails. Yeah, I guess I just miss emails. It feels more, I don't know, personal. But like Katie said, though, at the very least, leave us a star rating on your app of choice or even a review there. If I see the review, or I'll definitely read that. It's been a while. It's been a long time since I got a review. People are still listening. Like it's not like people aren't listening, but the reviews have stopped. It makes me cry a little bit.
I know. I hear you. And it really does. Like that is something that helps more people find the show. And I think there's a lot of Rocky fans out there that might enjoy our little trio of nonsense.
I hope so.
I've talked up my podcast at work at the lunchroom a couple of times, and it's a little disturbing. There's younger females, like 30 years old, around that age, never seen Rocky.
Yeah, that is. I do find that disturbing.
Yeah,
well, partially because it's in the AFI. Like, it's not just that we love the movie and we can't believe they haven't seen it. It is known to be one of the best movies ever made. So.
And the one last thing I'll say, it's not about numbers. And I want to make that clear. It's just that, like anything, if you're a rock and roll band and you go play at your show and there's, only 5 people in the audience, you might be a little bit, oof, it stings a little. What I'm getting at is that there's millions of Rocky fans and there's millions of podcast listeners. Like I've explained it before, but it's been a while, but I've never understood how you can have a million, let's just say million. I'm going to grab 1 million podcast listeners, which is more than that. And 1 million Rocky fans, Sly fans, which is more than that in the world. But the two don't overlap by 1,000. So you're not even trying to advertise podcast listening. They already do it. You're not trying to advertise become a fan of Rocky. They already are. How can we not get 1,000? Just 1,000 Venn diagram overlap. It's weird to me. I don't know how to get those people. Yeah.
I'm going to have to get oiled up, take my shirt off.
Well, that's how it's done. That's how it's done on YouTube. I'm not going to get it.
I know we aren't clickbaity enough. We're not clickbaity enough, Ryan.
I guess so. Katie, lower cut tops. That is the key. That is what other YouTube channels do, and that's what's in their thumbnails. Don't get me started on that kind of stuff. Simps. Oh, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Yeah, we need the simp. We need the simp listening audience.
Here's what I will say. I think the listeners and viewers and people, like our people are quality people.
That's true.
Like they don't need that cheap shit,
Yeah, we have good listeners.
Guys, let us know. Do you want lower?
It's
a lot of great listeners in our show.
All right. Well, we love you guys to do listen. We do appreciate you guys. Honestly, you're great supporters. But share it on your socials is what I'm saying too. Give it likes, share it on your socials. That actually helps the algorithm as well, especially on YouTube. If you're watching it, even for 10 minutes, give it a like. Okay. But with that, Katie, this episode's over.
I didn't hear no bell.
I just want to say one